You know, Dan, a terrible, terrible podcast is actually kind of good. Hello, hello, hello. I am Andrew Doorman of Doorman Productions, and with me is my co-host, Daniel Ripplinger. You are listening to the Terrible, Terrible Podcast.
Hello, everybody. It's XEspmasterX.
And you are so quiet. You know what?
Hold on. I can.
Here. Let's move that closer to you. Oh no.
What's going on?
Record.
It's taking over.
This is why we call it the Terrible, Terrible Podcast. Things happen.
Okay, it should be fine now.
I'll
try to speak up a little bit too.
Okay. So hello, and let's try that again. Hello, hello, hello. This is the Terrible, Terrible Podcast. I am your host, Andrew Dornan, and with me is my co-host, Daniel Ripplinger. Say hello.
Hello.
All right, so it's been a while since we've done an episode. This is the fourth episode. The third episode was called Magic Duels, or Magic on Air, or Magic Duels on Air. Basically, towards the end, we were like, we ran out of host topics, so we played Magic the Gathering, and you squashed me like a bug, and I was very upset about it. How dare you?
Well, that's the talk. I'll crush you boys like a bug.
Yes. So how have you been since that last episode?
No, I've been well. I've been at college pretty much the whole time.
Yeah? How's college like? How is being so busy you don't have time for video games been?
Good.
Good?
It's been awesome.
Do you feel better about your life?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I actually do like it better than high school. Mainly because in high school...
Because you get to choose your schedule.
Yeah.
To a greater extent in college than you do high school.
That's part of it. Mainly just... you don't have to slog through 8 hours of straight classes with no breaks every single day.
That's right.
So you actually have time to relax a little bit.
You have time to breathe and do homework.
Do homework, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah, my classes were good.
Speaking of said college, I started pre-planning my schedule. It said that I needed intermediate foreign language in order to get the requirement for my degree. But the problem is I've forgotten all of my beginning German from when I took it in high school. So they're like, you can you know it. And I'm like, no, I don't. I know to say, hello, my name is, and my name. And I know how to say that is good, that is not good. I also know how to say I play tennis, I am a tennis player, and I am tennis. I am the embodiment of tennis. That's all I know. So I'm actually taking, I'm going to be taking for my first year at university, we're going to the same university, and I'm taking intermediate German part 1 in the fall and intermediate German part 2 in the spring. Then also I needed some other classes, one of which was like a psychology 1300, which from my understanding is like a introduction to psychology. It's not like the psychology 1300 that we have here at Brazosport College, which is learning frameworks, which is, this is how you do college.
So university seminar at the...
What is university seminar?
It's a college which is basically exactly what you described. I mean, not a college, a class.
No. Because oh my gosh.
And you have to read a book, and you talk about the book.
Oh my God.
Except you don't.
What? Do I have to take that my first semester?
You might not have to if you're a transfer student.
Because it's like on my thing here. I've got my printout right here. Right here, university seminar. One class in US 1100. Also, there's this remark. An advisor must review this audit prior to using for degree planning. Pre-major audits will not reflect all requirements necessary for any specific degree program. You must meet with an advisor to determine... Okay.
Well, you get regular advisors or PACE advisors?
I'm probably going to get a transfer advisor.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay.
Yeah, transfer counselor or something. But yeah, if I do have to take that, seminar, I'm going to be so mad. 'Cause it's like I already had to sit through that once. I don't want to do it again. That is a waste of my time.
Yeah, it kind of is.
What isn't a waste of my time is learning about the German language, and there's also a German cinema course. I'm not sure if I told you about that.
You told me about that.
Yeah. From my understanding, it looks like I need to take it with or after I take Intermediate German Part 2. But I will take it. It's not a requirement for my degree, but golly, am I taking it, because that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm also taking Introduction to Mass Communication because I need something in there. Then also Sociology and English. I hate Sociology and English classes. I just find them really boring. But yeah, sometimes we do talk about video games on here.
Not today.
Not today. It's all about college life. I guess we should go ahead and say that at the time of recording this, we just got done recording 3 episodes of Halo Reach, and they're moving over to my external right now. I think combined they were like 60 gigabytes at 20 gigabytes each, which is a lot.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What video games? We'll start with you, and then we'll go to me. What video games have you been playing recently, excluding Halo Reach?
You mean like recently by actually recently, or since the last time we did this?
Let's go with both.
Okay, here, let me pull actually a different document up real quick.
Oh, he's prepared. He's more prepared than I am. This is remarkable.
Okay, so, well, we recorded this probably summer 2016, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, it was before you left for college.
Okay.
Or for university.
University.
Oh my god.
Okay, so, since the last time we've recorded, the games I've beaten are Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, which is a recent installment of a franchise I like very much.
Does that stack up well with the other Sly Cooper games that you've played?
Yes, fairly well. It's a lot different, but I also completely understand why it's different. It's because it's being released in a completely different era, so in able to make the game fit in, they kind of had to make it more humorous.
They've kind of had to tweak the formula.
Yeah, because I feel like in the PS3 era, like, they kind of got to a point where like cartoon animals aren't supposed to like have serious storylines anymore, and it kind of had a serious storyline, but it wasn't as serious as 2 and 3,
Okay.
And probably even 1, but
what other games have you been playing? I see you have quite a list.
yeah. See, The World Ends With You. I'm pretty sure I beat that before the last one.
Pokemon Heart Gold.
Oh yeah. I already beat Soul Silver, so there's not really much to say about that one. I was just kind of replaying through it.
Yeah, just trying to fill up your Pokedex.
Yeah. New Super Mario Bros., a game I've had for a very long time and
Oh,
only recently beat.
Oh yeah, it's right there. New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
The DS one, though.
Oh, the DS one?
Yeah.
My DS copy won't read. My 3DS will not read it.
Huh.
There's some weird black marks on a couple of the strips, and so it just won't read at all. My copy in Super Mario 64 DS kind of has the same problem, but sometimes it'll read. So that's a little unfortunate. But yeah, I actually have a guide for New Super Mario Brothers Wii. My dad got that for me for Christmas one year because when he was going to get me a guide for Super Mario Galaxy 2, but he forgot when he got there, and so he got me the wrong guide, but it's still okay. But yeah. Any other? Let's see. What else? What other games you got?
Okay.
Simulation.
From this point, I'm going to go into memory because I removed this from the document. But
Okay.
so far in 2017, I've beaten Pokemon Sun, which
I thought you had Moon.
no, I have Sun.
That's right.
Everyone else in the universe has Moon.
That's right, because I asked you what version you got so I could get the other version.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, I remember now.
In fact, it's
When-
over there.
Oh yeah. When was the last time we fought? Like, when was the last battle? I think the last battle we had was when you were visiting Haley. So, like, Christmas.
I don't think it was while I was visiting her, but it was like, and that's in Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, that Christmas break. Yeah. I have barely played that game. I've gotten close to the Elite Four, but my 3DS died, and for some reason, every time I pick that game back up and work my way up there, I forget the save, so I have to keep doing it. And it's kind of how a lot of Pokemon games get me, is like, if I'm not, like, because we stopped battling each other, and that was the reason why I kept progressing.
Oh.
And so, since we stopped battling each other, I didn't have a reason to keep on going, so I'm still stuck at trying to get to the Elite Four.
Yeah, I can't really connect my 3DS to the university Wi-Fi. So, but yeah, as for me, I've beaten the whole game. I've collected every single team in the game. I've gotten all the legendaries. And
You've basically 100%ed it?
No, I haven't completed the Pokédex, and I haven't completed a certain thing, Zygarde.
Ah, yes.
I'm 96% of the way there, though.
Have you been, when you were playing through it, did you remember to get every single Zygarde spec that was along, like you saw something shimmering and you went and got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've been making sure that I did that too. I think I'm at like 25%, I'm not sure.
The thing about that is, some cells only appear at night and some only appear at day. So even if you do that, you'll have to go back. I've been using the Cerebi guide and just checking every single spot.
Yeah. So like you check it and then you would like wait a few hours and check it again when it's night?
Well, what I do is I just check all of the night ones while it was night, and then whenever it became day, I check all of the day ones.
Ah, okay.
I'm still not done, but I'm almost done.
Okay.
And
yeah, you're getting close.
I beat a certain couple of trainers, which you find in the post game.
Oh yeah. Oh, post game, not like. Oh, okay, yeah.
And no, I don't mean the ones from Kalos.
Red and blue.
Yeah.
Or is it red and gray? I don't know. The localization is weird.
Yeah. Okay. It's red and green Japan. I have recently gone to the habit of calling them by the Japan names. So
Japanese names.
Red and green it is.
Yeah.
Which means that who I grew up calling Leaf is blue, because she's called green in the manga, but only in the English manga. If you're reading the fan translation on that one website, it's blue, but in the manga I have, which is the official VizKids copy, it's green. So blue is green and green is blue, and leaf is blue and leaf is green and blue and leaf.
Yeah, it's confusing. It doesn't make any sense.
At least they decided to keep red's name the same.
Yeah.
That's screwing that up too.
Yeah, it's just red is red, and that's it. You can't change red.
Red equals red.
Yeah, red equals red, whereas green equals blue, and blue equals green, and X to the 5th equals 7 to the 2nd. I don't even know.
And Lyra from Heart Gold might be inspired by Leaf, who we also call blue and green in the manga, and the green and blue and green.
All right. Any other games that you've played? Any non-Pokemon games?
Oh yes. Well, I also beat Pokemon Gold, but that's kind of the same as Heart Gold. It was just a replay. I already beat Silver years ago, and then there's Undertale.
Oh yes, Oh, you know what? Before you go on about Undertale, I have a question.
I won't go on that.
A while back, I got you a copy of Wing Commander.
Yes.
Prophecy. It was Prophecy of.
Yeah.
Would you get a second? Could you come down and somebody's feet are dirty going up the stairs here.
Oh.
If they want to vacuum the stairs, they're welcome to do it. Yeah. Could you come down here, please?
All right, and we'll pause. All right, and we're back. So
did you export that last one?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
That's why I just checked. So when we stopped for a minute, I asked you about Wing Commander Prophecy. Have you been able to play any more of your copy?
No. I should bring it up with me, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, like, with your original DS, if you have a DS Lite, you could probably plug it into the Game Boy Advance adapter on your GameCube.
Well, I mean, I do have my Game Boy Advance. I'd probably play on that. Although, actually, do you need the LNR? But yes, you do.
Yes.
Oh, that's why I haven't been playing it.
Do you only have the Game Boy Advance SP?
Yes, and that SP, the LNR buttons are broken.
Ah,
So,
that makes a
I'd
lot.
probably emulate it. That's what I'll do.
Or oh, excuse me. Whenever you're home, you could just plug it into your Game Boy Advance adapter. I'm sure it would work fine. On your GameCube,
Yeah.
right there at the bottom. Yeah, totally plug it in, be totally fine.
That also works, but that has a problem with crashing. But I could certainly do that. I just have to remember to save frequently.
Yeah. It auto saves at the end of every mission, so
Okay, cool.
you should be good. So you said you've been playing Undertale. Do you
Yeah.
have plans to let's play that?
Actually, I kind of do. I kind of already did, but not really.
Ah, okay.
So I'm not gonna talk too much about that game, but it's released in 2017. I just now got around to playing it. Whenever
Wait, it was released in 2017?
No, 2015. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, I was about to go, that's not right.
Hey, during the meeting, you got those two dates mixed up too.
That's true. Alright. Fair,
Um,
fair.
But yeah, what's it going with that? I didn't get around to playing it until early 2017.
That's where 2017, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'll be totally honest, I don't like that game at all. I don't like a game that's like, oh, you wanted to do this route? Feel bad. And it's like, no, if I want to go and, play it like a traditional RPG, then I should be allowed to do that without you being like, hey, that's really bad, and we're going to, if you keep down this route, we're going to make it terrible for you. Because it's like, a friend of ours, a mutual friend, I think it was Ken, he was playing Undertale, and he was doing the Massacre route. Or, no, I think it was called the Genocide route or whatever. He was basically killing everything. And he got to the end, and he got to the end, and he was given two options. And he saved before making the choice, because he was like, I don't know what these choices are going to do. And he went, and he supposedly made the wrong choice, and the game locked him out. It ended, and he couldn't get back in. He had to go and search for a way to unlock his save file so he could go back in and choose the other option. That's a kind of game that I don't like. A game that gives you multiple endings depending on what you do, that's great. A game that, punishes you for making a decision you thought was your own, and it, funneling you towards a specific path, that's not okay. I don't like that at all. I also don't like a game where if you mess up at the end, it locks you out, and you have to make a brand new dummy file for the game to call to populate with data so you can play it again.
I'm going to explain that a bit more in depth. I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to, but I'm assuming you're referring to the fact that if you beat the final boss of Genocide, whenever you restart the game, if you want to play it more, you have to sit on the screen with just the sound of wind howling for 10 minutes, and then someone comes up and restores your save file.
That's so stupid. Why? Why would you have to sit there for... That's so stupid. You would assume that the game just broke, and you'd be like, well, fuck it. That's as far as I'm going.
There's a reason I haven't done that route.
Yeah. It's just... That's why I don't like Undertale. The game pisses me off to no end. Because it's just the way it was designed, and, how it's just like, no. 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 I don't want to be punished for, playing the game how I want to play. It's as if you were playing what's an example? What's a game we really like? Let's use Star Wars Battlefront for an example. Say you always played as the Empire. Well, the next time you booted up the game and you wanted to play as the Empire, it locked you out and said no, you're an evil person. Stop playing the Empire. And it's like, but that's how I want to play. And it's like, no. Go play, these other modes billions of times. You're done with the Empire, and it just locks you out. And it's like, what? No. And it turns out what you had to do is either make a dummy file for it to populate with data, Or you just sit there for 10 minutes while it like spews anti-imperial propaganda in your face. That's no, I don't know. And thus is the question why you will never see an Undertale Let's Play on Doorman Net Productions.
Okay.
Ever.
I might do a Let's Play of it, but it's not going to be the genocide route, so...
And it's going to be on your channel.
Yeah, it is. Don't worry. I won't, I don't even know what I'd be doing, but I won't do a thing. I won't do a violence.
You won't do a violence. Alright. So, on a happier note, what have I been playing?
I find it funny how I brought up the game and you talked about it for a long time and I didn't actually say anything about it. But
Yeah.
go on. I'm not gonna say anything about it anyway.
Alright, I gotta figure out what have I... so what have I been playing? Well, some Bakugan Battle Brawlers for the DS. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. I finally picked that game up after not playing it for like, 2-3 years or so. I have no idea when the game came out. Another game that I've been playing recently is Dragon Ball Fusions. I picked that up from the Nintendo eShop because I wanted to play it ever since launch, and a few days ago I saw it on the eShop and I crumbled and I bought it. After tax it was like $32 and like 68 cents or something. And I was just like, man, I can't believe I just did that. But I have Dragon Ball Fusions now, so it's all okay. Dragon Ball Fusion is pretty fun. It uses, it's in the title, fusion techniques. There's EX fusions, there's regular fusions, and there's also ultra fusions. I'm going to go about that in the order that I mentioned it. EX fusions is like a permanent fusion that you'll unlock pretty early on in the story. And what it is you go into this spaceship that you unlock after doing a lot of story quests, and in it there is a machine that you can unlock, and it's called the EX Fuser, or it's just the EX Fusion machine. And what it is there's a couple of you put a bracelet on like two characters that are fusion compatible, and you permanently fuse them into one character, and you can combine all these different characters together to make all these different just brand new characters. Like you can combine Mr. Satan and Goku to make Gokuel. You can combine Tien and Yamcha. Let's see. Oh, you can combine your character with a Cyberman. It's so crazy. Like there's all these different things that you can do, and it's just bonkers on how the game is like here. Just fuse with anybody. Although, while you can have a character fuse with another character and stuff like that, there are requirements. For example, to fuse, I think it was young Goku and Krillin. Both characters need to be about level 30 or higher. And I think Goku might have needed like the Kamehameha in his skill set. I'm not too sure. I can't remember. But I got them fused a long time ago. You can also fuse the character that you create with anybody. So that's pretty cool. I've got an off-worlder, or an alien character. His name is Kototuku or something. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's got a lot of T's and a lot of U's. I just made it on a whim, and he's great. And I can combine him with the Cybermen to make him even more green. Because he's already pretty green enough, but combining with the Cybermen, he's like super green. Yeah. Also, as far as like DS and 3DS games go. I also installed. I picked up Fractured Space and PlanetSide 2 again. I installed those on my dad's computer, and it is phenomenal. Those games are a lot of fun. They're two totally different games. Fractured Space is it's a third person spaceship simulator kind of game where you control a capital ship. There's all these different capital ships that you can choose from. My main is like this research vessel that has gravity mines, and so like I can fire a gravity mine at a ship if it's really close to me, and it pushes the ship away, and it's really great. I just like the idea of just jumping into a sector with my capital ship, and if like in single player you can test out all these different vessels. So I tried out an aircraft carrier, and I got access to fighters and bombers. So I'd like just jump into an area, lock onto the ship with the most health, and just launch all of my fighter and bomber craft at it, and it would be gone in a matter of seconds. It was real great. PlanetSide 2 is an FPS MMO, first-person shooter, massive multiplayer online game. It's a lot of fun. There are 3 factions. There's the Banyu Sovereignty, the NC, and the Terran Republic. I forget what the NC is, but yeah, you fight over this planet, and you fight for control of the continents. And if your faction takes control of a continent, then you get a boost, whether that be increased maximum ammo, maximum health for vehicles, cutting the cost of the nanite cost, which is like this temporary currency that you can get that allows you to summon vehicles or temporarily upgrade to a max suit, which is like this mechanized exosuit that can have like shotguns or Gatling guns and rocket launchers. But yeah, so those are the games I've been playing. I've been dipping into Fallout 3 here and there. I'm also doing a non-lethal run of Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut. That's been fun. And I'm getting up to the end of the game, and I'm afraid that it's going to be impossible, because the end of the game has like all these people who have gone like crazy because the creator of Augmentations released like this virus or whatever that made everyone just lose their minds. And so it's like you don't have the supplies to just do a non-lethal run. So at that point, it's just like, do you decide to tough it out and try to find every single air duct possible, or do you just give up and pull out the minigun and just mow them all down? I really just hijacked that discussion.
Yeah, that's okay though.
Yeah. I was just like, let's talk about all these great games. But yeah, if you get a PS4, I would recommend PlanetSide 2. It's a lot of fun. I'm not sure how it feels in a controller, but with keyboard and mouse, it's pretty good. I'm not sure how PlanetSide 2 would run for this computer. I'm not sure what the onboard graphics card is like. Just checking to make sure it's not overheating.
This one doesn't do that, but I sometimes check just out of habit.
Yeah, because your old laptop, you're like, is it going to burn my table?
Is it going to catch on fire?
Just oh, yeah. Occasionally I'll jump into Star Wars The Force Unleashed on DS. Been borrowing your copy. You know what? I think... Hey, guess what? Because I'm not getting the original DS with capture device, here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now I can find my copy of Star Wars Lethal Alliance, put it in there. Let's see. Host topics.
Oh.
I saw that you had a document for host topics.
Yeah, I'll get that back up. But first I want to mention another game which I've been playing a lot but I haven't beaten, and that's Civilization 5.
Yeah, you don't really beat Civilization. I mean, you can 100% it.
I count winning a game as beating it, which I haven't done yet. I've always either given up or actually that's pretty much it.
Given up or...
I've never finished a game because like something goes horribly wrong every single time I try to play it until like the nuclear age.
Oh, so what type of victory route do you usually aim for?
I usually go for science. I've tried like pretty much all the other ones at some point.
Yeah, I usually go For science, mainly because science allows me to build nukes. I've got a fun civilization story. There was one time I was playing it, and I was just live messaging it in the group chat, and I was trying to build nukes because I just wanted to nuke everybody, because everybody was fighting everybody. There was a time of peace, but it didn't last. And I'd gone halfway to researching nuclear technology, like in the form of weapons, and they put a ban on nuclear missiles, and I was like, "What? This is an outrage! I wanted to nuke my neighbors." And apparently, the Mesoamerican civilizations must have had spies and figured out that I was researching nuclear weapons, because at one point they all just got really mad at me. And I was like, why are you mad at me? I'm trying to be friendly. Meanwhile, like, I'm in my room and I'm like, I'm going to nuke them all. But outside meeting with other civilization leaders, I'm like, we're like best friends, right? And then they were like, no, we want war. And I'm like, but we're best friends.
That reminds me of yesterday when Haley and I were playing the game on a new world, and I'm like right next to Greece, and I keep on like throughout the whole game, I've been constantly asking Greece if we can be friends, and he keeps on refusing. And then one day he just suddenly decided like that he was hostile towards me, and that he coveted my land. I was just like, I just wanted to be friends.
Yeah, just like, I wanted to shower you in friendship, and instead you brought me hatred.
And he constantly told me, your expansion is worrying my experts. And I was like, I have 2 cities. I have 2.
Yeah.
And I specifically built the second one far away from you.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem that I had in my run, like the thing that really fell to my demise, was every chance that I got, I built a fort. Eventually, Haley was like, "Why are you building forts all the time?" I'm like, "Because forts." And she's like, "No, you're an idiot. Only when you stop expanding should you build forts." So it's like my civilization had like forts. If it wasn't a city or a mine or a farm, it was a fort. And I had artillery lined up everywhere, and I was doing pretty good until the Mesoamericans decided to declare war on me and took over one of my small little islands that I had a hard time resupplying with troops. Because it's like the width of the island was like a single hexagonal space.
Yeah, okay.
And so,
those are the worst.
Yeah, and so it's just, I was trying to get troops there, but I couldn't. And then also my destroyers didn't have the range to attack the troops, because I had troops on the shoreline trying to get on the shore, but they couldn't. And so it just got to the point I was like, all right, I admit defeat, because I think it was Bismarck. Bismarck won through culture. And I was like, no, but like, let me win. And I was just going up a downhill escalator. I couldn't win, but I kept trying until the Mesoamericans took 2 of my cities, and I was like, okay, I'm done. But yeah, I held my own for as long as I could, and I kept hitting them with artillery and battleships, and I was just like, if you let me build nukes, I could have brought world peace through a nuclear holocaust.
But, I mean, I wouldn't call that peace, but you go ahead and do it whatever you want.
I mean, you nuke the world and nobody's fighting anymore.
I mean...
You just...
But at what cost?
At the cost of... I mean, like, okay, to put this in perspective, when I played Star Wars Empire at War, I try my hardest to work up my tech as fast as I can and also get as much money as I possibly can, because I want to build the Death Star. Because the Death Star is a way to gain peace across the galaxy.
Yeah, that's what they said in the movies too, and that didn't work.
The only reason why it didn't work is because there are a few people that were really uppity And they're like, no, we don't want to. And the Empire's like, well, you got to. And the Rebellion was like, no. And the Empire's like, well, we're going to use it.
Well, you think
Boom.
that's
There's,
gonna
there
happen?
goes Jeddah. There goes Scarif. There goes Alderaan.
Okay. That's gonna happen pretty much anytime you build a weapon of mass destruction.
But you see, it's a tool of peace, and you just gotta lay down and accept that the Death Star is there. I mean, the Empire didn't really want to use the Death
That's
Star.
contrary to human nature.
Okay, but look, the Empire didn't want to use the Death Star, but the Rebellion forced the Empire to use the Death Star. The Death Star was there as
them.
the Death Star was there as like a last resort, and then the Rebellion kept pushing the Empire, and they're like, you know what, we have this, let's just use it. And you know what? Then the Empire got destroyed, and then if you look at the expanded universe, like some of the newfound expanded universe, is that after the fall of the Empire, and you put in the New Republic, crime skyrocketed. So what I'm saying is that the Empire was actually trying to do good. Yes, it wanted to destroy planets, but I mean, like, everybody wanted to destroy planets. Everybody.
Freedom is worth the cost of some amount of crime.
Hey, Dad,
Yeah?
check with Ellen and see what y'all want to do for dinner, okay?
Oh yeah, I did.
Do you have your host topics?
Yeah.
Alright. We got 15. Let's go with your first host. What is that?
Hold on a second. I have a few. I'm just gonna go to the easiest one.
Alright.
Um.
Oh, what's that looks like the most recent one, March 13th?
Yeah, there's two of them.
Oh, okay.
March 13th and March 12th.
Let's go with that one.
So, I saw, it was Monday, I saw Logan.
How is that?
It was really grisly for my taste, but I still did like it because, it's an X-Men movie.
You're a fan of X-Men?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like one of those fake fans who only watches the movies.
Yeah, like me. Like, I play the games and I watch the movies for Star Wars, but I don't read the comic books and I don't read the books.
Well, at least in Star Wars, the movies were the original property.
Oh, that's right. That's true. In X-Men, the comic books are the original property.
Right.
I guess with any Marvel thing, I'm the quote-unquote fake fan, because I just watch the movies every now and again.
I don't really read comic books or manga either.
Same.
Although, I've been reading through the Pokemon manga, but that's an exception rather than a rule.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of Dragon Ball Z Kai and Dragon Ball Super, and I've been thinking about reading the manga, but, like, that's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
It's like season the Saiyaman saga of Dragon Ball Z in DVD is like a lot more is like cheaper than getting the Saiyaman saga of Dragon Ball Z in the manga form. 'Cause books cost money.
Yes, they do.
What else did you have to say about it?
About what?
Your host topic.
Oh yeah. So I really enjoyed X-Men Apocalypse. That was I'm kind of in the minority on that one because most people just thought, it was okay. But I like it. I don't know. I really like that one. I can't tell you why, but it was very epic. I guess it was on a very grand scale.
Yeah. I haven't seen X-Men Apocalypse. I haven't really seen any of the X-Men movies at all.
I watched the third one of the original series a long time ago, but I've seen all of the rebooted franchise ones.
Yeah.
Was the Wolverine from the reboot, or is it from the original one?
Are you talking about the Wolverine that's in Logan?
No, there's 3 different movies that are centered around just Wolverine. There's X-Men Origins Wolverine, and there's The Wolverine, and then there's Logan.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember which timeline The Wolverine is part of. but I haven't seen it, so that's why I don't know.
Yes. Let's see. There was something I wanted to talk about. Oh, spin-off games. So I am a fan of a great many franchises, and a lot of video game series that I hold near and dear to my heart. One such is the Metroid series, and I've been saying for... Where are you going?
I'm just gonna go take off my coat.
Oh,
But you keep going.
okay. So one of the series that I've always thought, deserved a spin-off game was what was it? It was the Metroid series. Like, for the longest time, I was like, you know what, a spin-off game for just a Metroid, for the Metroid series, would be a great way to revitalize it. It's like a breath of fresh air. And last year was my last year of Teen Guild, and so let me restart. So last year was my last year of Teen Guild, like I said, and I was talking to my friend Aubrey, and we were talking about games, or not really games, but series of games that deserved a spin-off. And I was talking about my main point, and the discussion was Nintendo series that could really use a spin-off. And the one that I kept going back to all the time was Metroid, because the universe of Metroid, you could really do a lot of different genres in it. And you can do space simulator, you can do RTS, you can do RPG. Heck, you can even do an FPS in a different perspective. And I said that a great spin-off for Metroid would be one about the Federation troopers, because you see a lot of what Samus does and kind of how it affects the Federation, but not really, the Federation as a whole. And so when Metroid Prime Federation Force came out, I was like, I called it. But when I really started looking into Federation Force, it honestly, while it's not 100% what I wanted, I definitely appreciate it more than I think a lot of Metroid fans. What is your take on Metroid Prime Federation Force?
I haven't played it yet, but
like, what was your first impressions when you saw the trailers?
I just kind of said, oh, that looks like a game. It looks like a multiplayer Metroid Prime game. Could be fun. Still probably not going to get it because I don't buy games that much anymore.
Yeah. When I saw it, I was actually pretty excited that we were getting a Metroid game. And I was like, yes, the first Metroid game that we've gotten in a long time. And it's a spin-off. This is going to be great. It's going to, breathe fresh air into the Metroid series. And literally all the other Metroid fanboys and their brothers were like, oh, it's not Metroid. And they were freaking out. I'm like, you should be lucky that we even got anything. You people are the reason why we can't have nice things. It's like, but it's not Metroid. And I'm like, but it's a spin-off. And it's like, but it's Metroid Prime. But it shouldn't be, it shouldn't use the Prime title. I'm like, okay, well, you've got a point there. It shouldn't really use the Prime, label. But when you think about it, Metroid is divided into two sections. You've got the Metroid, you've got the regular Metroids, which are your 2D platformers. And then you have your Metroid Primes, which are your first-person shooters. Now, say what you want, Metroid Prime Federation Force is technically, if you divide Metroid into these two categories, is indeed a Prime game because it is a first-person shooter. Well, yes, the progression system is different from, the other Metroid Prime games. It totally just takes a spin on the Metroid series because you have a team of 4 instead of it just being by yourself. Although, granted, you could play the game by yourself with a single-player campaign. This is a very unpopular opinion, but I love the idea of Metroid Prime Federation Force. It's a little too chibi for my taste, but I'm still glad that we have it. Like, I am grateful that we got a Metroid game after not having one forever, and we're probably not going to get a Metroid game ever again because Nintendo wanted to do something different, and every single fanboy and his brother flipped out, and now they're not going to grace us with a Metroid game ever. Maybe when Hell freezes over, we'll get a new Metroid game.
That's the problem with this.
It's like Nintendo's got two buttons. They can either keep going with the same formula year after year, or they can change the formula, but fanboys are going to totally hate them for it. And it's like, you can't... This is why we can't have nice things.
I mean, I think the best... Okay, this isn't what I was originally going to say, but you got me on a different train of thought now. I think the best example of a Nintendo game which kind of... It did something different, but it not too different, and people were pretty happy with it, was actually Sun and Moon, because they changed up the Pokemon formula a bit, although they didn't really change it that much. Like, we still kind of had gym leaders, but they're not called gym leaders, but the trials are completely different than gym battles. They gave...
Yeah, the trials are a bit more involved.
Yeah. It kind of... I'm guessing that they're not going to go with this for the whole time, and this is going to be a special thing for Alola. But Pokemon's a example of a franchise where they kind of do new things every generation, but they keep like 90% of the actual gameplay intact. So they kind of they don't get like people angry at them for change. Well, at least not that many, not as many as Metroid.
Well, I think the... Like, I understand where they're coming from. I don't think it's totally valid, but it's like I got in an argument with a friend, Hunter Schwant. He's been on my show, Andrew Dorman's What's New. We kind of got into an argument about Metroid Prime Federation Force, and I just ended it with, look, when it comes to games, I'm pretty passive about it. Like, I'll take what I can get. And he goes, oh, that explains a lot. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of does. It means that if you have a series and you don't have an installment for like 10 to 15 years, and then a new one comes out, I will take it. Be like, okay, we haven't gotten a game in quite some time. I will take this new edition, and if I have the money, I will get it and play it. But all these other fanboys who have been waiting for like a Metroid game, and they finally get one, and it's not exactly what they wanted, they flip out. And these are the same people that flip out over the Toad character's design becoming more simplified throughout the Paper Mario series.
Yeah,
it's just...
I have a different problem with the Paper Mario Color Splash from what I've seen of it. I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah. That's a discussion for another day.
I did want to kind of get into something else, which is the fact that when I was a young person, like in my 10 to like 17, that era of my life, and I was kind of on the internet earlier on, whenever you ask what are the worst like video game fandoms ever, like you'd always hear Final Fantasy, Super Smash Bros, Sonic, especially Sonic. Sonic was the big one. And now, like, Nintendo it's actually probably, I'd say, worse than the Sonic fan base.
Yeah.
That's also partially because the Sonic fan base has gotten better.
Yeah.
They've kind of... Because the Sega basically stopped taking the franchise seriously, I think the fans don't take it as seriously either. So... Yeah,
Sega was like, what? Let's just do whatever we want now, and fans are like, let's just yeah. But yeah, like Nintendo I agree, like Nintendo fans are the worst. They're so stubborn and narrow-minded. It's like, come on, guys, just give it a chance. Like, people were freaking out before Metroid Prime Federation Force even came out, and it's like, guys, just chill. Like, it's not a hard concept to relax and look at it objectively instead of subjectively. when you look at a game objectively, it's gonna become better.
I think the main problem with that fan base is basically just they kind of have the sense of entitlement.
Oh my god, yes.
And Nintendo doesn't really have to make any games at all.
Yeah, Nintendo could just stop with the Switch and just, once that's it, they're done. No more technical support, no more video games, no more video game consoles. That's it. They're just done.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
like none of these companies. Like, here's the thing that like a lot of gamers, like a lot of these rabid fanboys and fangirls, but just these rabid fans in general. The thing is like these companies aren't here to cater to your every whim. They're here to make a profit by selling whatever game they want to sell. It's why Nintendo made so many, like, has swapped between 2D and 3D Mario games, changed up the formula here and there, and the reason why they keep milking the Mario cow, but still changing it, is because they're there to make a profit and they know it will sell. With Metroid Prime Federation Force, they took a chance to see if the Metroid title was profitable, and they probably didn't make that big of a profit, and so we're probably never going to get a Metroid game ever again.
yeah. I mean, if at least we won't get that kind of Metroid game ever again.
We probably won't get a Metroid game, period. We'll probably get more Splatoon games than we will Metroid games.
One can hope. I am a big fan of the original Metroid Prime, but I haven't played that much of the rest of the series. So
I would say, yeah, I'd say like the little bits that I've played of all the games, out of all three, out of the 4 Prime games, which if we count Federation Force makes up 5, so you have 5 Prime games. You got Prime 1, 2, 3, then you have Hunters, and now you have Federation Force. Metroid Prime Hunters for the DS was the first ever Metroid Prime game that I've beaten, and it's also the second Metroid game in general that I've beaten. Metroid, I'd say Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, I feel like is the best one. Like, it's the pinnacle. And then under that you've got, I'd say Prime 2, then Hunters, then Prime, then Federation Force. I put Federation Force at the bottom because I don't really have that big of an opinion of Federation Force because I haven't played it. I've played the other Prime games, I just haven't played Federation Force. But yeah, I feel like just by looking at gameplay footage, Federation Force is just, it's a nice breath of fresh air. It's colorful. Like, I'm not sure about you guys, but I like it when, a serious franchise takes on a much more colorful tone. It's a breath of fresh air, and I really enjoy it. I would prefer, a series after not having an installment for, 10 years to give me an installment that's bright and colorful and has a more fun attitude than giving me the same formula after 10 years of not having it. It's like, well, if you're going to have the same formula, why didn't you just release it 5 years ago, half-assed? But if you're going to make it colorful and bright and fun, that's great. I'm sorry, did you want to add more to this discussion?
I think so, but I don't remember what.
I've kind of been hijacking this whole thing. It's like, this episode of the Terrible Terrible podcast is a bit shorter than other episodes. And I'm sorry for that, but that's just how it is for now. The next time we do an episode, it will definitely be much longer, and hopefully we can have you and Canon here at the same time, something that hasn't happened yet. This is your second episode, so when this gets uploaded, you'll have 2 episodes, and Canon will have 2 episodes. Because right now it's Canon, Dan, Canon, Dan, and we got to break that, and we got to come together.
Or maybe in the next episode you won't be here, and it'll just be me and Cannon.
Oh my gosh, if you guys actually got together and I wasn't there, I'd be like, record the Terrible Terrible podcast.
I actually do need to start contacting Cannon more.
Yeah, I try to text him and message him on Skype on a daily basis. He responds most of the time.
Okay, because I've been one of the reasons. This isn't the only reason. It's mainly just because he is my friend, and I don't get to talk to him that much.
Yeah.
But there's also a added incentive of I don't think I've ever talked about this in a video, but I am currently in the process of writing a Pokemon fan fiction based around the games, and none of my friends are really like interested in it. So
Yeah,
I've been
sorry
planning on-
about that.
I've been planning on going to the Cerebi.net forums to get feedback, but I also wonder if Canon would have anything to say about that. So we'll see.
Yeah, I would say just save a .docx, a dot document, a Word document, and then email him. Be like, hey, look this over. Give me your input. I'll probably give it to you. Which, by the way, you also need to give your input on the final cut of 2098 AD.
Yeah, I do.
But yeah, you probably didn't know. I am currently writing a book. It's a novella. It's about 30 pages long after I add in 2112 AD. It is basically all the religions one day just snapped and went to war with each other, and now it's in space. And you know, it went from the Earth. The Earth is gone, and now they're all across the galaxy. They're just fighting. At this point, it's there's no clear winner, and it's just written for entertainment reason. So it's like, hey, here's your classic sci-fi tale, but with a different twist on it. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about. Let's give a recap of the series that are going on Doorman Net Productions, and any series that may be going on your channel. So Doorman Net Productions right now, Portal bonus episodes are going up. Those are almost done. There's 2 episodes left. They'll be released Monday the 20th and Friday the 24th at 1:30 p.m. And then after that, Half-Life 2 will take up a Monday, Wednesday, Friday time slot of 1:30 p.m. Right now, it's just got the Wednesday time slot of 1:30 p.m.
Alright. I guess I'll add in a little thing about my projects, which isn't much, mind you.
Do you have any current Let's Plays going on?
No. But I want... as soon as I get a new microphone, I'm going to continue my Pokemon Leaf Green Let's Play from years ago.
Get some necromancy going on, raise
Yeah.
that from the dead.
And once I get Pinnacle Studio on my new computer, I'm going to continue Choro-Q, which is a project that's been going on for a very long time.
Yes.
And once summer starts, or summer school starts, I'm going to be at my grandpa's house, and he has a Wii. So I was going to use that opportunity to get back to Sonic Adventure DX.
Yes.
Which is the Let's Play which I had to cancel when I went to college because I wasn't allowed to bring my GameCube.
Yeah, that's right. Alright, so I guess that's everything. This time around, it was more discussion-based and less kind of silly. But I think it was a nice departure, a nice spin-off, so to speak. So thank you so much for watching this episode of the Terrible Terrible Podcast. We are your hosts, Andrew Dornan and Daniel Ripplinger, and we will talk to you guys in the next episode of Terrible Terrible Podcast, which I hope is really soon.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Alright, see ya.
Bye.